Hi, I'm John Peters. I'm here with Jason at the Highlander in Atlantic Highlands. Let's go and take a look at the shop.
Welcome in, guys. We opened up the shop in October of 2023, so we're going on about a year and a half now.
Wow, you like the town?
Love the town. Love the town. But we've been here for about 4 years, my family and I. We moved in March 21, fell in love with the place, decided to invest a little bit more and put some roots down.
So you actually live in the town of Atlantic Highlands as well?
Yes. We live about half a mile up the hill, and I've got 2 girls over here at Atlantic Highlands Elementary School down the street.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Really part of the community.
Trying to be.
Now, I know that you have events here from time to time.
Yes. We like to invite other local businesses, Fair Mountain Coffee Roasters being one, Carton Brewing another, to come in, do some tastings, get people familiar with their products as well. They're also big cyclists, so that helps. So it's coming up in the next week or so.
So we can follow you on Instagram and make sure we know about it.
Absolutely. Highlander Bicycle Co. And then also on Strava. We also have a club on there where we post all kinds of things, including the parties, but also club rides for road cyclists, mountain biking, gravel, across the board.
So you are a cyclist?
I am a cyclist, yeah.
Is that what got you into this?
Absolutely, yeah. That's actually how I found Atlantic Highlands.
Really?
I was riding out of Brielle Cyclery. Actually, we came up, we did a loop at Sandy Hook, and we came down the hill. I got a flat tire directly across the street from here. That was my first time in Atlantic Highlands ever. This was the summer of 2020. And I was looking around, I'm like, hey, this place looks really cool. Told my wife, let's come check it out. We were living in Colts Neck at the time. And this was COVID times. It was a little bit remote, not as walkable. We lived in Brooklyn before that, so used to more of an urban environment. Anyway, I'm standing across the street. I'm like, this place seems really great. My wife loved it. Moved here. What ended up happening was there were several bike shops in town. You had Tom down the street, down on First. He kind of retired, hung it up. You had Mike's Bikes. That unfortunately closed. That was a sad story. And then we had Cranky's in Highlands. He now is still there, but he's renting bikes exclusively. So there was kind of a gap for sales, service. And my front porch became the town bike shop. So I was doing service, and for the first couple of summers I was here, I had like 15 bikes lined up across my front porch at all times. And I'm like, maybe there's an idea here. So saw this building for sale, always loved the spot. Came in, talked to the guy who owned the building, and he was willing to lease it. And one thing led to another, here we are.
This is the old laundromat. This
was a laundromat for many, many years, but originally this building was built as the post office, kind of the crown jewel of the town. 1915, I think, something around there is when it was built. So it had some really old bones and some cool features that you don't really see in many buildings. So we wanted to kind of expose that and highlight that as well.
I love the architecture, and I love the texture in the walls here.
Yeah.
This old clay block they used to use.
Yeah, and apparently those are from Keyport or Hazlitt. There's a place where they can be traced back to. Somebody came in once and told me about those.
Did you do the treatment on the walls? It looks like it's whitewashed or something.
We kind of added everything on, yeah. So I can show you pictures from before, but there was a drop ceiling that came down about, a foot past where these concrete beams are. This was all blocked in. Those windows were all covered. Because of the laundromat, it needed that space back there and had to be blocked off for ventilation and things like that. There was all kinds of different tiles on the floor, linoleum of various decades. We pulled some of it back and found this really cool old terrazzo, which is a rare occurrence. You don't find this floor in a lot of places. So we wanted to highlight it as much as possible, and we had to fill in some gaps. It's not perfect, but it still kind of has that cool vibe to it.
Cool, let's take a look at some bikes.
Sure. Yeah, so this is a Gazelle C380. We actually just sold one today, this one right here. The olive one's going out. This is a Class 3 electric bike. What makes these really special, they're built in the Netherlands, number one, and they come with Bosch motors, Bosch drivetrains, Bosch batteries, which as far as e-bikes go, that is the gold standard when it comes to drivetrains and e-bike components. So, the Gazelles, the C380, this is another C380 Plus. That one is a Class 3. The difference between a Class 1 and a Class 3 is the speed that the motor will assist you up to. So Class 1, we're going up to 20. Class 3, we're going up to 28.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah. But again, only pedal assist. There's no throttle on there. The only e-bike that comes with a throttle would be the Class 2, which is more typically your commuter bike, your cargo bike. We've got a couple around here I can show you too.
Now, are you getting people who are commuting to the beach on these?
Oh yeah, yeah, or even just looking to get out for exercise. People who want to get out and ride. The good thing about these, again, you have to be pedaling in order to make them go. So they're still bikes. They just help you a little bit. There's no threat there of having to go out and getting stranded on Sandy Hook with the wind blowing back 15, 20 miles per hour. The motor can overcome that. At the same time, if you just want to go ride it on the trail, real nice and easy, you don't even need to turn the motor on because it rides like a regular bike.
So you mentioned the trail, you're talking about the Henry Hudson Trail.
Yes.
And that takes you all the way to Highlands?
That'll take you to Highlands. Then there's some bike paths that connect to take you over the bridge to Seabright into Sandy Hook as well. And you can go the other way pretty much down to Freehold. So I think it's about a 22, 24 mile bike trail system.
And you're right.
Yeah,
right
we're
in the
about a
middle of
block
it.
off. Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so we've got some really great location. You got the bike trail, we've got a skate park that just got redone. A lot of BMX kids are going over there. Ocean Boulevard is famous for the road cyclists like myself. And then we were also pretty close to Hartshorn Woods, where the mountain bikers reign supreme. So we're a dealer for Gazelle. A few other brands that we're dealers for would be Giant, and that's going to include Liv as well. So these bikes right here are Liv. Liv is Giant's kind of women's specific brands designed with women in mind, women's geometry, women's colors, and more marketing geared toward women, which I think is really cool. And then Momentum is another that is under the Giant umbrella. So this is a Momentum bike right here. Then Santa Cruz, Look, Time is another company that we're a dealer for. And we just signed on with Jamis, which is actually a New Jersey-based bike brand and women run, which is pretty cool too. I do co-own this store with my wife, so we'll get to the clothes later up there. But yeah, those are our main bike brands that we've got. Salsa is another dealer, another bike that we are a dealer for.
And I see the shop back here, so you must repair bikes as well?
We do repair bikes. So these guys, this is the heart of our business. So this is Patrick. He is one of our mechanics. Mike is another of our mechanics. They're usually here pretty much every day. You'll find one of them. These guys know what they're doing. They bang through all of these repairs. They are very well versed when it comes to bikes. We all have a little bit of a different specialty. I'm really well versed in road. Pat is our mountain biking expert. Mike knows the gravel scene. So we're all here willing to help work on bikes and get people back out and running. So if it's a standard bike, non-electric, we can work on anything, whether it's 50 years old or 2 years old, doesn't matter, we can work on those. Electric bikes, for any of the brands that we sell, we can fully service, we're registered. And then if the bikes were not bought here or we're not a registered dealer for that brand, as long as it has a Bosch motor or a Shimano motor, we can work on it. Reason being, we get support from those companies. We have all of the dealer portal, all the dealer documentation. We need direct lines in order to put in warranty claims. We have that support. So those two bike brands that are e-bike specific or motors for those e-bike brands, those we can work on even if they weren't sold here. So we can service them.
It's such a great space. I love it.
Thank you.
And I like the addition of clothing.
Yeah. Again, it's a different lens. We've got some nice things. My wife, she's really responsible for all of this, both with the partnerships for companies like Laban and Free People, Z Supply, Beyond Yoga, but also, we're kind of creating our own merchandise as well. So if we get an idea for a shirt, I'll show you a couple that we came up with. You know, obviously there's the stuff that we have here, the iBike NJ. That was something that was done actually, one of the guys who owns a few bike shops in New York City had these shirts. I live right around the corner from it. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the name. Bicycle Habitat. Okay, there's one in Park Slope. There's one in Prospect Heights. I had a shirt that says I Bike NY for a very long time. He was kind of a mentor to me as I was getting this place open, and I asked him if it was okay if we copied his design, and he said, yeah, it's fine. I copied it from Milton Glaser, so go right ahead. So, you know, we made those for people, but then, you know, this Welcome to Atlantic Highlands shirt. There's a flag over in the Strauss Mansion, the Historical Society, with that image on it, and we thought it would be cool to make it into a shirt. So we made those, people like them. And then there's also, I have a friend who stopped by one day and had an idea and said, we have to make these.
Oh my gosh, for sure.
Right? Just for fun. You know, we're always trying to come up with something catchy, so there we go. And then obviously all of our stuff. But so our goal here is to cater to all ages, all skill levels. So whether you're just starting out, you know, you're getting your first bike, you're getting back into cycling after a number of years, road, gravel, mountain, even just, you know, your standard cruiser, we want to be here for you in order to help you find the right bike for you. If you already have a bike, that's great. Bring it in. We'll get you kind of set up and tuned up and make sure that you're ready to go. We're also starting some kind of learn to ride with groups as well. We're going to do that once a month to kind of bridge that gap rather than just showing up and having people come to the more intense group rides.
Sure.
You know, we'll take them out, just a really small group. We'll show you the rules of the road, make sure you're comfortable, show you all the cool gear, and get you all dialed in. Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram, Highlander Bicycle Co. Just search that up. And then also, you know, I mentioned the Strava Club as well. You can join that. That's where we really post all of the rides and some events too that might slip through the cracks on Instagram. But we try and get everybody as much as possible through all of the venues.
Awesome. Well, listen, thanks. I really appreciated the tour.
Yeah.
And you'll see me again.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right.
Great to see you.
See you.
Take care, guys.